Alright, hello everyone. It looks like we have pretty much everyone in the server now, though they aren't joined up on Teams. So, good evening, or good whatever time it is where you are at the moment. I'm Feather Monster, and you're here to see a week 6? Yes, week 6 match between Overextension and Singularity. This is, I think, one of the last two normal season matches that are left for Division 1. It's just this one, and I think it's Yggdrasil versus Intent, I think is the last match that they'll have to play to figure out who's where. As far as that one goes, I think that one might be slightly more important for deciding. Actually, let me just alt tab and look real quick. Yeah, that one's slightly more important in that that could create some issues with who gets the fourth spot in playoffs. As it is right now, Singularity and Overextension, they're both guaranteed to be in semifinals, assuming that's how things are going to be set up at the end, which I'm assuming they are. Zephyr can correct me when, 3 minutes from now when I say this, if it's going to be anything different. But, top four teams will end up going into that, and both of these teams, they're 2 and 3. Or at the moment, going into this game, they're 2 and 3. So the question is, what's going to happen at the end of this? So this will decide the seeding for them going into the finals or semifinals for who gets to play who when it comes into it. And the fourth team, it could be 3 teams. It could be Intent, it could be Yggdrasil, or it could be Elfir. Of course, if I'm remembering it correctly, Elfir has 12 points, I think. And so if Intent wins, it just totally 4-0s Yggdrasil, then that might mean that they have to do a playoff or a tiebreaker to decide the final seeding, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, I'm obviously sitting in the game right now, so I don't want to alt tab and figure that out. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing this game. I mean, of course, Singularity's been around since what feels like the Dark Ages, so it's always nice to see them play. And Overextension, I was on through basically between seasons. Well, okay, I was on work in progress with a couple of the members from Overextension, which then, of course, work in progress sort of shifted into being Overextension, and I played with them through basically the start of the season. So they've improved a lot since ye olden days. Basically, right after season 4 came to a close. There's been a lot of improvement, a lot of roster changes, but I think they sort of pretty much they have a pretty good group at this point. And of course, it's always interesting to see how they play Singularity. Been around since forever. Seems like that some scheduling stuff means that they don't get to play as much as they perhaps used to in the past, but who knows? But we'll see. Trying to see what's going on in chat here. Doot, doot, doot. Alright, so just catching up on chat there for a moment. So it looks like we're getting mercs in here at the moment, and we have most of the people in here. It looks like for Singularity. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. We got everybody set up there. For Overextension, we currently have Bruno, Rising. Enzo will be the merc for this. Zaloco, Parsnip, and Fiskbit. For Singularity, we currently have Sharp, Salads, Mikan, Wake, Kane, and JJ will be the last one for Singularity, and that's pretty much everyone who's here at the moment. We have Tico sitting around as ref, and pretty much I think things should hopefully be going here fairly soon. Obviously, we're starting off on Kodiak. That is one of the 2 maps. The other one is Vale. So, a map that isn't really played much at all because different is bad and scary. And yes, Kodiak does probably have its own issues that need to be changed. But part of the whole thing is you need to play the map to be able to go back and tell the mapper, hey, this needs to be fixed because, reasons. So it's always nice to see play on this. Of course, one of the things that we'll probably see becoming important, at least at some point, will be right here. That'd be server bank, as I hit the zoom in thing by accident. It's... Alright. He has to reconnect. Okay. So, server bank is kind of important. It's sort of in a sense is like Oxy on Zombie. It's a really key point for the aliens being able to expand no matter what hive they get. Of course, let's go into the blackness here. Of course, if they start in Hangar Bay where they are, they can get naturals fairly easily up in observation and hydroponics and also northern biosphere. Those are, 3 easy to grab naturals, but then of course they're cut off from the second tech point. On the other hand, if they start down in command, which is the other potential start point for the aliens, then they can't, if marines set up in server bank, then you can't really expand to hydroponics. You can only go south, which means you get southern biosphere and surface access, which is another tech point. So if they set up in server bank, you're either going to get 3 RTs and no tech point, or you're going to get, 2 RTs plus a tech point and not really be able to go much beyond that. Because obviously water production is a marine natural, and if they're in server bank, it kind of cuts you off from being able to get northern biosphere. So I mean, all things considered, this is also probably a map where Shade Hive may be played just because it is such. I mean, let's go into the. Oops, hit the right buttons, okay? There's kind of all these trees, and so you can imagine how, or if you haven't played this map much, you can imagine how, you're a lurk flying around over here, and there's some marines over there by, say, the RT. It'd be a lot easier to hit those marines if you went and had aura to be able to see them jumping around, like you can currently see the one guy who's there with the outline from spec view. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens. Of course, who knows? They may just go for a more standard, you know, crag hive thing, but we'll see. Also, the thing about the command hive is it seems to be pretty easy to arc. I mean, there's this nice little switchback hairpin turn thingy gadget that you could just park some arcs like right here and then just arc the hive. Another reason to go shade if that happens, assuming you let the marines kind of get a little bit out of control and show up there. But alright, what's going on here? Doot doot doot. Alright. So we're waiting for ready-ups in general here. I mean, everybody's in here, obviously, and we're waiting for Tico to reconnect. He is the ref, but for the most part, I mean, I'm not expecting anything crazy to happen with these guys. I'm assuming nothing stupid will happen, but then again, it's NS2. Stupid stuff could happen. We could have the server implode. I don't know. There were some, I remember issues with that last season where, like, I think the pause function was still kind of broken, and I think it messed up premier level match, I think. Or, like, once they unpaused, it just had gone completely insane. Anyway, it looks like we have Kane readying up there for Sing, so we might be getting into this pretty soon. Parsnip isn't even in the chair, and he is the commander there, so... Um, yeah, alright, oh, never mind. We're gonna have Fisk starting in the chair, so it looks like they're gonna be starting out with mines. One of the things that I have seen with them recently is, and I say recently, it's as in, since I stopped comic for them kind of thing, is that they do seem to go for mines first fairly often. So we're gonna move red into round one here on Kodiak between Over.Extension and Singularity. So here we go, 5 seconds to start. Alright, so we are going to see the hive here over in command. So they better be careful to make sure that they don't let anybody into what is it, server banks. Obviously, there's the armor being dropped. Everybody else is just getting out of base. Looks like pretty much everyone's just going to the north, which is an interesting choice. Well, okay. Stuff is dropped there. Okay, Fisk's still in the chair there. I'm assuming he's going to be heading south towards water, whatever it is. Salad's just kind of running over there. He tries to duck under the little archway there. He just gets completely destroyed. This camera's really freaking tall. Alright. Obviously, mines are almost done. We're seeing that Wake he got a parasite there on Rising from, I think, the very top of this pillar thing. I mean, this map has a lot of vertical space to work with through the center of the map, which makes it a lot easier for aliens to, blend in with some rocks, hopefully. They did notice they did go Shade Hive. So those veils are already up. Oh, the only one who has their upgrades chosen at this point is Connie, and he just got destroyed. But of course that initial... Oh, Sharp better just back up. So they did get the Gorge to try and probably link up with, what's it, Hangar Bay? Guess who came through? It would be Enzo and Bruno, just like saying, screw this, we're gonna go right through into the RT, which didn't even get finished. And Sharp is gonna end up possibly losing his Gorge unless they're able to clear him. Bruno's down, so now it's just Enzo left. Sharp is just running in there, Battle Gorge. Alright, Mikan, oh, actually Sharp got the kill on him there, so that has been cleared up for now. Sharp gonna get an upgrade there, and it looks like at this point we're seeing Fisk is just, happily capping down the side of the map, but we got Ziloko and Rising coming down through Hangar Bay. So they're gonna run into Sharp, who's still sitting there in Hydroponics. Yeah, that room. So Salads will probably get some parasites here, but it's gonna make it really hard to push. That is probably, I think, you know, I don't know. I really don't like the start there in is it command or control? Command. Okay. I really don't like that start there because it just feels like you're so enclosed. Looks like Mikan was over there possibly getting a parasite. Maybe, nope, didn't even chomp on the RT, but looks like we're gonna have a whole group of them here set up to come and crush these guys. Wait, Kane, Sharp, and Salad. Salad's already a little bit hurt. Of course, Sharp is there as the giant bait, aka the Gorge. And that gets cleaned up. Only lost one Skulk in that battle, and they'll be able to have somebody bite down that RT and then probably get a tunnel up. I don't know whether he already dropped the one that was that'd be there in the hive. Yep, the tunnel's already there in the hive, so they're just waiting on the RT to be killed and the tunnel to be placed. The tunnel has been placed, and that should be within range of that RT, so they don't have to worry about the sys chain, aka this obnoxious hallway, the like troll hallway. Just getting some scans there so that way they can be able to tell that nobody's coming for him. They're finally getting some res pressure there from Singularity. They're going in. I mean, Over.Extension got up to what, 6 RTs? Yeah, they got up to 6 RTs, and now like they're slowly imploding behind them. Armor 1 is starting. They went for an early obs too, so they're really afraid of base rushing, apparently. I mean, normally you could just go with the mines and just not have people, you know, overextend. And we'll just have to see if that ends up costing them, because of course that does mean that by the, let's see, they're at 19 res and they're going to have armor 1 up, but they aren't going to have weapons 1 up. So it'll be harder to kill the lurks for sure, but at least they're getting the armor 1 up, so that way they'll be able to hold off the lurks when, or, you know, not, you know, melt to the lurks when they show up here very shortly. Looking at JJ here, just kind of creeping up on Zloko. And there he goes. That silence making it really easy to get that kill. I think that JJ was doing a really good job there at hiding around the wall. I can't remember if he was parasited. If he was parasited, that made it even easier. So at this point, Over.Extension is just doing the recap job. They're going to be up to 6 RTs again once they start capping. But they're going to lose the one down there in surface access again. And just stuff is blinking everywhere. You can see Wake is up as a lurk, and I think that's even the new skin. He's just going to zoom on in there and bite Rising's head off. One of the nice things also about having the Gorge... Oops, where'd the Gorge go? One of the nice things also about having the Gorge there is that, you know, with the Gorge getting auras, you can use that to sort of scout out for your lurks. If, you know, if the Gorge is going along for the fun of battle, you know, they can sort of help scout it out to make sure that you aren't walking into a total disaster. I mean, with the 3 Veils up, the aura is very nice, and we're going to see Bruno getting chomped on a little bit. Mikan goes down to about half health, and just none of the bullets were really landing on Wake. Oh, mine there blows up Inzo. Inzo's mine blows up Bruno. Inzo's still there. Now Wake's gonna try and clear that up. Sharp's gonna just battle Gorge this. He says, "Hi, I'm a Gorge. I spit things." And JJ over there working on res again. This is pretty well locked down, and they're almost up to second hive res, which I'm assuming is what's going to happen here very quickly before they even worry about the biomass and stuff, just because it's so important to be able to not have to worry about that stupid server bank hallway. Bruno getting a nice pick of JJ off the rocks there. You know, there's pretty much no cover there if I take a look. Hit the right button. Oh, thanks. Yeah, there's like not much cover there, so easy to pick a Skulk off there if you know where they're coming. It's like Zloko just went down to Mikan down here in surface access, and that RT is going to get chumped again. So weapons 1 has been finished, and since they do have the obs, whenever they feel comfortable, they can probably go and probably start, well, I guess shotguns or phase tech will be their next choices. Depending on how much they feel like they have, or how confident they feel like killing the upcoming fades. They're at 27 res for Singularity at this point for the non-Gorge, non-lurk things. So it'll be a little bit before fades, so it really depends on how comfortable they feel with them. I mean, if they really feel like they need the mobility around the map, then obviously they'd go phase tech, but I mean, they've had a lot of res. Wake going in there, getting some nice bites on Rising, but nobody could really hit him there. Bruno and Rising just missing that. Wake goes back in, gets the pick on Rising. And now it's just him and Bruno. Has to watch out for that Australian ping. We're seeing Zloko moving in to back him up, and Bruno wisely backing up to try and meet up. Oh, Wake getting very low there. Hiding behind the ship and getting out through the hallway at last. There's that crag there, but the thing is that of course... Oh, everybody's just coming out of the tunnel. Hello, here's all the Skulks. And they're able to clean that up. So that crag, that's a really nice placement there on the crag. Let's take a look at that real quick. It's like behind a thing. Oh, it could be a little bit better, I guess. Oh, and there's a whip over there too. But sort of hidden him behind there, so it isn't as easy to pick it off. And at this point, oh no, it's somebody there in hydroponics. That'd be Enzo. He is running into Wake and Salads right there. Looks like they are gonna only. I mean, so far, obviously, the only lurk up has been Wake, unless somebody was being sneaky and turned into a lurk without showing up ever. So it makes it a lot harder for Wake to lurk, obviously, because he's the only target. I mean, half the thing is that you're this crazy flapping thing, and then there are two of them. And they are going to go for phase ticks. They do have a lot of res. I mean, they've been sitting at about 5 RTs, give or take. Sing's been doing a good job at biting them down. I do believe. I can see Kane taking out Fisk there. I mean, 9 RTs down in 7 minutes. They've been doing a great job at taking down these RTs. But then again, they've also been, putting the RTs right back up. Bruno's actually pretty low health. He's running in there trying to save that, but Salads just loops right around this little rocky formation and is able to just kind of come back and kill him. Obviously now Zaloko knows that there's at least 2 skulks there, so he's probably not going to push in, though Sharp will be happy to try and bait him out by biting that RT. And Salads loops around again. They are not going to win these one-on-one engagements versus, skulks that are reasonably close to the hive and also, with silence. Or camouflage, but nobody's gonna pick that really. Okay, we got Enzo building the gate over here, and it's not gonna get completely finished. The power is done. He just needs to tap the gate, and that's just not gonna go up. It might have been one of those cases where it would have been better to just, sacrifice yourself for the gate, but oh well. It might not have gone up anyway. It might have, and I don't know how fast it would have gone up. It might have been like, 98% and still not finished. Zaloko's gonna sneak on in there. He's gonna run into Sharp though. Get a few bullets into him, but we have Wake going through the vent as well. Getting a lot of damage into Wake. And Zaloko's barely backing up, but he ends up getting picked off. There's a lot of these one Marine engagements that seem to be happening. We saw the gate had got placed down here in oh wow, they just moved it up. They just said, forget this, we're moving it up. So they had the gate surface access, and they already walked it up over here to Southern Biosphere. I don't think that was necessarily a great choice to do. I mean, sure, it's like a redundant gate, but that's right outside the hive. And the second hive has been dropped, yes. It's up to 12% grown over there in Hangar Bay. Oh, there's the fades, though. They almost, I mean, there's Mekon up, and JJ's also elsewhere as a fade. But it's like, you don't have the redundant gate, and that is really far. I mean, you need that second non-base gate. We're saying the fade's just ripping through people across the map. But especially if you're gonna like arc, I mean, you're putting all this res into this section of the map, and you don't have the fallback plan in case you push too far forward, and then all the skulks converge on the gate, and you lose a couple people. It makes it so much harder to be able to go and cap that. I mean, just okay. I keep seeing Enzo pushing forward here. It looks like Sharp escaped behind him. But it's like, we really need that other gate. They should have just left it there. Yeah, sure, it's another thing to phase through, but it's so close then. If you lose your gate because you do something dumb, then you don't really have to worry, and they're just gonna put up the obs there and just prepare to arc this. They don't have the shade down. They don't have a shade down there. Oh, there's the shade down there. So they're gonna build the shade there, and since they did go shade hive first, they can slow down any arcing. The first arc is rolling out. They're building up the obs. They're building up the power there, so that way they don't have to scan. Fairly typical stuff there, and we see at least 2 Marines elsewhere on the map just kind of trolling around doing stuff. And Rising gets a little bit too far forward and gets picked off by a fade. I mean, there's JJ, there's Mekon, there's Wake, all ready to converge on these poor guys. They do have 1 shotgun there, but Zaloko missing enough of his shots that it's like, well, they just need somebody to come back through the gate. With 2 guys like off recapping, or at least at that point it looks like they were off recapping. When I previously looked, well, they almost got Wake though, but it would be pretty iffy. I mean, looking at the map, I mean, you can see Bruno's down in water production recapping. I thought there was another Marine running around the map, but I guess maybe he ran back to the gate. So Kane's there as the little Gorgie, and he has to jump back in and ink again because that poor little shade is already getting wrecked. And they get JJ down a fairly, oh, they're recycling the arc factory already. They got their arc out, or arcs. Is that a John of Arc? Or did the power go down? I'm rather perplexed. Oh, the power went out. That's what happened. Okay. So to stop the arcs, they cut out the power, which is pretty clever. I mean, everybody was focused right up in here, and now because of that, they're going, wait, we lost, we have to get the power back up, and they have to retreat, which means that they're moving back into this room, and they're going to pick off Fiskbit. They already picked off the other guy. The gate is also going down. Hey, guys, you see why this is? You shouldn't have recycled that gate. So they're going to lose, they recycle the arc factory, they're going to lose their arc, they're going to lose their obs. They might save the gate, though, if they can go through and you know, power through all these aliens that are swarming them. That's going to be at least 2 shotguns down. And an arc, and a gate. And they're just going to have to regroup and try again, because, I mean, the second hive is up, obviously. This one is up to, is down to 59%. That's easy enough to go build a crag. Connie will probably hop back in the hive and get that done pretty soon here. So now they have to recap, because while that was going on, they dropped down to 3 RTs. So, not that great, but look at what Singularity's done. They've only lost 1 RT, and it's just like creeping up. There hasn't been enough pressure done to their RTs, and obviously with the way the map is set up, I mean, they currently own this chunk of the map. I mean, Southern Biosphere, pretty contested. But at this point, it's not gonna look too good for Over.Extension. They've got to build up their 4th RT in Singularity at 5. You don't want your aliens to be that, you know, that much more res than you. There's a lot of mines around base, so they're still protecting themselves against base rushes, and you know, if they kill life forms, then the skulk's running into base to try and just end the game. And we're seeing stuff blinking everywhere, which looks to be mostly parasites. And we got Bruno and Inzo working in hydroponics. I mean, that would be potentially another good place to try and, like, you know, set up a little base, because it would cut between the 2 hives, and we're seeing, oh, Mikan just kind of hanging out in base. But he's just a fade, so he can't really do damage on stuff, but I mean, it'd be another place where they could set up. However, then they get aliens coming at them from both sides, and it probably is better to just, you know, pick a side, whether it be the southern hive where they were before, which is a really nice arcing position, and just go from there. I mean, keep the gate down there, or maybe get one in like central biosphere, which would be like right here, or maybe central or northern, somewhere in that range, so that way they could approach both hives and have that second place to come from. Bruno, last one standing. All the aliens taking a little bit of damage there, but just they aren't able to kill the life forms yet. I mean, Wake has just been like immortal so far. And Sharp's just been doing some RT harassment over there. He's gonna be able to set up and just keep biting. Or is he up? I can't tell where he is here. Okay, now he's over by the RT, just biting stuff. And they're gonna try and set up the gate again. That gate position doesn't look quite as nice, just because it seems like it's really against a wall. Oh, but you can hear the Onos. There's Salads up as the Onos, and we're gonna be not too far away from Sharp banging Onos as well. He's actually taunting, I think. Just sitting there taunting. I mean, look at all the upgrades they have. They have their second shell up, they're getting Umbra, and it's just gonna be like this quick decline for them, because they're gonna, I mean, they just put all this res back into this room, and they're gonna lose it, because, oh, what they did take down Mikan. And they take down Awake, so not enough of it. Oh, Salads too. You guys really low there. So, maybe they aren't gonna lose it yet, but it got pretty iffy. I think that might have been just everybody going after different targets, because it's like there are enough aliens in there, higher life forms, that it should have just been like a giant ball of death. But the thing is that now they have skulks again, so the skulks can go off and bite all the RTs, which, speaking of RTs, you can see that there's... Okay, it's just Inzo versus Mikan going on at the north there. But like, look at Sing's trying to expand through the center of the map, because obviously you can't go through right here, but you can see the cis chain is going through tunnel B5. It's just a billion whips being built here too, for if they try and just walk on in. So they're trying the arc push again. I mean, the power obviously got down to half. The obs is wounded. At least I think that's an obs. And it's just getting biled by Kane. I mean, that's the bad point about this, is if you don't take out that stupid gorge, he's just gonna dance around the corner and bile bomb everything. Alright, so they're all grouped up. They have 4 grouped up right there. We have a Fade up in Upper Rapids. It's kind of hanging around. We see stuff blinking in base. That'd be Sharp on the Arms Lab. Rising ports back through, and he runs into to JJ. Gets a nice shot on him. Zloco also getting some bullets into Sharp. Actually takes out Sharp, and then they're going to get back through the gate. Probably should maybe get some mines or something on that, and I think that's what they're going to be doing. We're seeing another push over here down into Southern Biosphere while that was going on, while they pulled back enough people. We can see 3 shotguns on the ground, and they're on the gate. This is the problem with that gate. It is kind of against a wall, and so they're going to lose all the rest there finally this time. You can see it's already being recycled. That poor little Arc there is just like all alone. It's like, help me. Help me. I am an Arc. I am blending in with the rocks. You do not see me. And just the res just, I mean, look at the explosion of green that has happened across the map. I mean, just like cysts everywhere. 20 RTs down in 17 minutes. I mean, Sing is just like, hi, you are not going to have any res. I mean, they allowed, but the part of it was, is just, oh, there we go. There's another Onos. Sharp is up as an Onos now. So they're up to 2 Oni, and it's going to be that much more impossible for Over.Extension to be able to come back and get this. And I think part of it was just not having that second gate nearby to be able to reinforce that. I mean, that's the whole part of the thing, why you always want to try and have 3 face gates. Sometimes 4 if you're expecting one to die, but like, you want to have that 3rd face gate so you can be able to reinforce the one that you already have on the map, which is assumedly pretty far from your spawn. Seeing Inza there, getting some nice shots there, but with the hallucinations, makes it that much more confusing. And another shotgun down. That's probably, I don't know, 4th or 5th shotgun that is shown up to be obnoxious, or well, fallen into the abyss, I guess. You can see the power's already primed there. They keep trying to get a gate. Now, obviously that one, that's weird that the room goes that way, but obviously that's in part of hydroponics. But Sharp is showing up again. He's like, hello, I am an Onos, but he's actually getting a little bit low. But with that hallucination there as well, that's gonna make it very confusing, and though they have Zloka and Bruno both there, they have Wake there with the Umbra. Mikan and JJ also coming in, and they get Bruno very low. Sharp, sorry, JJ gets very low. Sharp is just gonna go back to the hive. I mean, that's so close to the hive. I mean, they barely have to like head out of the hallway to heal. And we have Salad showing up too. And that's another gate that is not going to happen. And at this point, it's, I mean, unless they pull out a miracle, it's pretty much GG for Over.Extension. I mean, Surface X is hive claim. That'll be the 3rd hive, and obviously 3 hives means that you are pretty much out of the game as Marines. Unless something really crazy happens. But really, if there's something crazy like that was to happen, you'd basically have to flash all the life forms, and in some cases flash them twice. Because JJ's at 40 res, we have Mikan at 46, we have Wake at 37. I mean, really. There's just too much, they've had too much res for too— oh, speaking of Wake dying, where was that? That was Bruno. There was the Lurk corpse. So he was poking into water here while I was watching the Fade over there. It's like Inza was maybe going after upgrades, and he got some damage in the shell there, sure. But not anywhere near enough to, you know, do much more than that. And the shifting of green has gone from being like this little chunk to this giant kidney-shaped lump. And that's a nice gate. It's like right there at the cutoff of power. So it's kind of almost an observation gate, but not. They did get the power back up there, so they'll be able to get another RT. They'll be able to get a little bit of forward momentum, but yeah, there's at least 2 Onos out. They're Sharp and there's Salads, and pretty soon there will also be a 3rd. Yeah, Mikan's, what, 3 res away. And there isn't much that can be done, because we're going to see just both the Oni just coming into base now. And it's like, hey guys, let's just end this. They're going to pick off Rising, Wake will run into a mine. And Beacon back for everyone. But they're all LMGs. I mean, you look at the P-Res, all those shotguns that they ended up losing, trying to get those phase gates, means that, well, they don't have enough now to be able to repel the Oni, even though at this point it would be really hard to be able to do so in the first place. I mean, there's the other gate, but we have Mikan biting the gate. And he's up to Onos res now, so if he dies, it doesn't really matter. He can just go back to the hive and become an Onos, and they can take 3 Oni and go win. Of course, that's not totally infallible, but it certainly helps. I mean, pretty much, if you aren't being an idiot, you could take your 3 Oni and just go win. And hey, we have 2 Oni in the base. We have Wake there with the Umbra, and they're going to chase the 2 Oni out. Almost take out Salad. Salad's is really low, and they're going to use They're gonna use Sharp there to body block, and we have Wake there with Umbra to try and kick it down. There's pistols going. There's a little bit of healing there in the hallway. So both the Onai getting really low, and they're just gonna have to get out. Going different directions though. What is Sharp doing? Oh my goodness. Parsnip actually jumped out of the chair too. They were just like, we need to take out these Onai, I guess, because he also bailed out of the chair and was running after him. I don't know why Sharp hasn't gone back to the hive either at this point. We're seeing Rising's going back into the hangar bay hive. Or at least trying to. Mikon still hasn't gone Onos. Hey, Mikon, you should go Onos. You have 62 res. Go 3 Onai and win. But they should just... Yeah. Over.Extension probably could have had this, or at least they could have had a much better chance at taking this game if they had kept up that second gate and not recycled it. I know that is something that, like... I know that's something that back even as work in progress that we had, you know, one of those, we are never doing this again because we totally messed it up and it cost us dearly kind of thing. The one time we tried it, except for I think it was on Veil. And they just lost their arms lab and their Onai in the base. Hey, where's the ops? Oh, they already took out the ops. So they're going for a Moral Victory Hive. And it's probably not gonna make it. I don't know. 47, yeah, they're just gonna call GG. So first round goes to Over.Extension. As soon as we see, look at all this crazy tech that Singularity's getting right there at the end. So very good round there for Singularity. They lost what, a Fade and a Lurk, I think. That was it. All right. But yeah, I'm kind of sad though that when I said I really don't think that they should have recycled that phase gate because, well, if you lose that gate, you'll lose your position on the map, and then it happened. I do remember saying though that, or I do remember saying though the time that, as I said back, I think it was when it was still work in progress when I was playing with Fiskbit and company. You know, we had a Veil match or a Veil game, probably a scrim. You know, had the East Gate, and for some reason we, what happened? I don't know. I think we were trying to get the system gain for, I don't know. It's just stuff involving recycling gates is never a good idea. It seemed to be the moral of it, unless it's like the gate is being overrun. And just the fact that it was kind of interesting though that nobody noticed that this power node over here was under attack. Whoever that was that went over and bit that power down, they're pretty freaking amazing. Because, you know, they noticed that all the Marines were standing up here in this little vicinity because they were protecting the arcs. What was it? Like an arc factory here, I think. Actually, let me draw it on the map so I can move it around. Like the arc factory here and the gate was like right here or something. And then there was the OBS and the arc. Yeah, I was right about there. And of course the power node is like way over here. So whoever was like over here biting on stuff, they were freaking amazing. They obviously came through, you know, they came around this section of the map. Through, what's it? Server bank, that room, and then central, and then in there into that section of the room. So that was a really good call by whoever did that. So awesome job for them for taking that out. Because, you know, normally you're expecting, oh, it's the gate. But no, it was the power. And of all the things that seem to get missed a lot when it's under attack, it's going to be the power. I mean, sometimes it'll be like, you know, an arms lab or whatever, but a lot of the time, you know, commander will have that hotkey, so they'll see the thing blinking on their little bar thingy right above the map, and they'll be like, oh my god, the arms lab's under attack, and then, you know, we'll have somebody come back or whatever. But, you know, we've seen games like where bases have been lost because the comm wasn't paying attention to the base power going down. We've seen stuff like that, but in this case, it was definitely a case of them not seeing that there was a skulk sitting on that power node. Maybe they didn't care, I don't know. But I'm assuming that was some sort of miscommunication there, and, you know, they're probably kicking themselves for losing that round, because they, I mean, if they'd taken out that one hive, sure, they would have been on a crag hive, Singularity would have been on a crag hive, but that'd give them a lot more, you know, mobility across the map. They could have moved one of the phase gates up to, like, you know, where's a good place? I don't know, maybe central. And so that way they could have cut the map like that or something. And that'll put, you know, that'll keep keep the second hive away from Singularity. But at this point, well, It didn't happen. Let me see what's going on in chat here. Alright. So nothing too exciting. Decoy's saying that she was about to be excited that Wake didn't die. And then he did. Oh well. So we're gonna wait for these guys to get all set up. We do need to wait for both teams to ready up. We have the Mercs in here. So it goes. Obviously, I don't know. I'm curious to see what Singularity is going to do if they, as Marines, whether they're going to fall into some of the same traps. But then again, maybe not. I mean, we've seen sillier things happen, or at least I have. I remember. I mean, I've seen a Veil round. Oh, the Veil rounds will be fun. Such an unforgiving map. But at least on this one so far, I mean, oh, never mind. I won't get to say any more silly stories. We're gonna just roll on into round 2 here. Singularity versus Overextension on Kodiak. With Singularity this time as Marines. All right, and they get the hangar base hive start, so they need to make sure that they're able to go and cap that other tech point ASAP. So like also going for mines over here on Singularity, but this time they're gonna have their actual, comm, not or be starting in the chair, so they aren't gonna be able to have that, convenience of having comm being able to jump out and put mines down. But we're seeing 4 skulks all kind of grouping up here towards the center of the map, like they're itching for a base rush. And some very heavy and quick sisting from Parsnip down all the way across the right side of the map. And here come the 4 skulks, and they're just kind of skipping past Salad. Salad's getting taken down. JJ going to be next, maybe, but he already took out one of the skulks. Okay, they aren't going to go for base, but they are going to go for that RT. Kane obviously jumps out of the chair there. I mean, maybe he wants to see if he can pick off one of them. I mean, all of them are chipped. They're going to get a little bit more damage onto Zoloko when they're out. Fisk is there as Gorge. So he's looking around, healing up some cysts. I'm assuming he'll get a tunnel down somewhere. I would have assumed it would have been over here in command, just so, again, other access to the tech point. But it looks like he actually went for one over here in server bank, which is odd. I mean, it doesn't give you any of the, like, cyst bonus stuff. But he has the other one over here in observation. So that's definitely a pretty typical thing there. I mean, it's that easy access sort of between naturals. And I sense, like, in a sense, I guess it kind of makes sense because it's, like, between the other natural and the tech point. But, having it over on the actual tech point might be better. I mean, let's take a look at it real quick while other stuff is going on. I guess it also has this little wall thingy to sort of protect it. But I don't know. I don't particularly find that I don't particularly agree with that gorge tunnel, but then again, I'm not playing in this round, so I mean, maybe they've used it before and they thought it worked for them, but it's I probably would have just gone for a more typical one over by an RT. And obviously there was Wake trying to save the RT there, or would have been trying to save the RT there, and got converged on by 3 skulks rising up there in the rafters. And they obviously went for Crag Hive first, but since, as was mentioned, the Shade Hive is probably more important for the command start. Well, they'll just have to try and get their second hive for going for the Veils if they want them. Sharp cutting the cyst chain over there. The Fisk coming over to, like, just poke at things a little bit. I mean, there's still a couple cysts just kind of floating around, not doing anything, but they'll have to reconnect the chain there. Let's see what happens. I mean, obviously Sharp knows the gorge is there, and they did clear the cysts off that RT. Not the one down here, though, so if they're able to start resist right now. Inzo just getting, like, completely blown up there by Sharp. Zoloko going in there, trying to get the bites, just one more, and he does get that. Armor 1 is about, a third done or so. Okay, Salads is gonna go clean up the cyst down there. Once again, Fisk doing try and get the RT set up there. It looks like at this point, we had a couple RTs get chomped down already by Over.Extension. So, not too bad of a start on that aspect, as long as they make sure... Oh, they just need to make sure here that they aren't going to lose their gorge if they're planning on having Fisk around to build a hive. Salads is just kind of like dancing around. They're kind of just dancing around the RT. Getting some little spits at him. We have lurks up. Here comes Rising, just cruising on through the tunnel. Zoloko also up his lurk elsewhere. Looks like he went the long route. And they just sort of, Salas decided to run the heck away. Maybe he realized that there was just so much of a delay there that it was probably a good idea to leave. Either way, Parsnip's out of the hive, and he's over here with Inzo versus Mikan and Sharp up in observation. Do you have that Crag there? However, Inzo gets taken out by Sharp, and Sharp's actually able to take out Parsnip as well. So though they have the Crag there, which will help a bit, Rising able to get a little bit of spike damage there on Sharp, and looking at the res, this would be a great time to come out there and try and get a bunch of damage on these guys, because they don't have that much res right now. I mean res on hand. Oh, Zoloko, however, misses the entrance to the tunnel or something, so goes down really quick. Fisk popping through as the Gorge, so obviously they just have decided it's way too important to clear this, and obviously that is going to get cleared, though Bruno ended up biting down Inzo. Wait coming in from the other direction, hoping that he could get a pick there on Rising, I'm assuming. But Zoloko comes from the hive and around the corner and is able to clear him out. They really need to go and get some assists up to this other RT. I mean, that's just, you know, with the power up there, with the, you know, the RT there, that's just asking to be this, like, really annoying as heck. Oh, Marine through the tunnel. Or maybe that's, no, it's they were having a battle in the tunnel, I'm sorry. Alright, so that guy, JJ gets cleaned up there. He was fighting Fisk in the tunnel, I guess. So I'll have to resist all the way over to the RT, though it looks like Fisk will be able to heal that up. I mean, but having this open in the Marines, I mean, that's just asking for later on to just plop a phase gate there and just walk into the hive later. I mean, it's not quite as nice as just being able to arc. Oh, Inzo getting a very nice kill on Mikan there. He has the little wall there that I think is going around that RT to help him out too. That blocks some of the bullets. And Sharp putting some more pressure on that Gorge tunnel. The Crag is down, so the damage he puts on that tunnel is pretty much permanent except for Fisk comes through, and he's trying really hard to heal the tunnel. He's actually getting a good amount of heals into that. And Sharp is actually going to have to back out and wait for someone to come help. Inzo's probably just on the edge of scan range there, and Sharp's going to get attacked by everyone because they're very determined to save their freaking tunnel. That tunnel is being saved whether they like it or not. And just this hallway must be just long enough that there's like no great place to put assist. There like has to be a assist in this hallway, and it's just so easy to come and just snipe down this lovely shooting gallery known as Server Bank to break the assist chain again. Inzo getting out with very low health, and here they go again towards the Gorge tunnel. Mikan and JJ heading over there. Bruno pops out of the Gorge tunnel. He gets wasted. Zoloko showing up. Maybe, maybe not. Fisk bit coming through. He's gonna heal the tunnel again. epic tunnel saving. Except for he almost overcommits on that just because, well, there's kind of two Marines. He did get the tunnel back up to about 70% health. And just every time when it's about time for them to reload, he pops back out of the tunnel to heal it. JJ almost dead though. Fisk comes back. Oh, yeah, Fisk actually took a lot of damage in that. It was actually pretty entertaining to watch. He just like they can't kill the tunnel. Fisk keeps reappearing like some sort of freaking Caddyshack gopher. Alright, they finally do get the tunnel. I'm sure that JJ is celebrating that he has survived long enough to make the tunnel, you know, exist. Power's up down here in Southern Biosphere. I mean, not much else was going on the map while that was happening, just the standard capping and all that nonsense. But they have two drifters here, and they're building the shift, so they know that this has to be, like, you know, almost time for the hive. They put just, like, two fully mature whips right there in the doorway. I mean, the problem with that, of course, is it is a little bit far just because, well, you know, it's a hallway. But anyway, Racing's gonna try and get some damage on the Salads there. Thing is he already has, he was already out of his armor. The whips are also going to cause a bit of an issue because of their hitbox, or their collision box being kind of tall. And it'll make it a lot harder for the life forms to escape over it. But hey, you know what I always said? There was the power over here that might make it kind of inviting to drop a phase gate? Well, that's what's happening right now. I mean, they have shotguns, armor 1, weapon 1. And now they have a phase gate on their doorstep to deal with. Well, we got fades up. We got Inzo and Bruno both up as fades. And JJ's split up, so that's going to be an easy pick for the fades. Wake and Mikan both there with shotguns. So though they might, but they're split up. They're split up. What are they going to do? And Sharp's gonna build the power. I'm assuming that might be another phase gate. Because that is another, you know, that's the same thing like on all the maps. If you can get a... Oh, Enzo picking the wrong direction to head out. He's gonna hide up in the rocks. I can't tell if that's actually... Oh, Salads is gonna cut him off. Oh, he almost gets... Both the fades almost get picked off there. However, the command hive has been finished. So they're probably pretty happy on that aspect, that they didn't lose their fades, even though it kind of was a little bit iffy there. It probably would have been better if Inso had gone out the other direction. Look, Arc Factory, they're taking no chances. They're gonna just walk into the hive. One does not simply walk into the hive room. You freaking roll some arcs on in there and arc it. I'm not quite sure where they have to park them. We'll find that out. Rising just being annoying and spiking at things, it looked like. Though he has Soloco to back him up now. Soloco's gonna try and bait out some bullets, and the combination of the two of them should take down Sharp maybe. Rising again getting pretty low. Fisk is still magically gorged, so he's done a good job at avoiding like everything. We got some turrets going up as well. They're like, screw you, Skulks. However, that'll be a nice little corridor to have a gorge show up and buy a bomb. Maybe something for Soloco to do if he can get over there properly. Ryzen getting a nice pick over there on Sharp. JJ's over there, but he's gonna run into both the fades. Mikon's there as well. And it looks like Enzo, he's kind of low on energy. They are finally getting metabolized, so that's part of the reason they couldn't just, you know, wipe out the fades right then and there. Was that, you know, there was kind of this issue called the fades had no energy. Well, one was badly wounded and the other had no energy. So they are going to have the arcs retreat because they kind of lost their shotgunners. And Bruno is down to like just a chip of health. And so while all the aliens are swarming this, they almost lose their other fade, who's barely able to escape down the hallway. Salad's not quite there in time to pinch. If he'd been there like 2 seconds earlier, he would have been able to get the second fade there. That'd be Enzo. But they're trying to push again. They have 2 arcs still alive and kicking. But all the aliens are pretty much gathered up in that section of the map. And they're basically, this whole little room is like a lovely little funnel here where they have to force all the aliens through. And we'll see what this can hit. It looks like they're setting up there, maybe? But they got Fisk there. Fisk is still alive as a gorge. He's just done a good job at staying alive as the gorge. But the only problem is when you have somebody staying alive as the gorge, you don't have somebody, you know, or at least once the hive is up, you don't have somebody there, you know, biting res. So their initial starting res, they did some really good res pressure in the first, you know, 5 minutes of the game. And then it just got away from them again. They haven't been down any res since then, which is why Singularity has enough res to arc. They've been sitting at 5 RTs roughly, you know, net res graph of 5 since 4 minutes in or so. And just they lost 1 RT for a while, they had 1 extra RT for a while. But overall, they really should have had Fisk, once that hive was built, they should have had him back as a freaking skull again to go bite stuff. I mean, at the moment, it seems like Sing might actually be over-focusing a little bit too much on just this section of the map. They don't have, I'm assuming that they know the other hive has to be there by now, but they don't have another, wait, oh, that's an arc, sorry. They don't have another phase gate. They don't have that, you know, that backup plan for if, you know, Fisk shows up and is able to bile everything to death. However, they are getting some good damage there on Rising. So second hive is a shade hives, but they do have a shade over here. So when the arcs actually get rolled forward, that'll be pretty easy for them to go and you know, delay the arc with the shade, the ink, as you can see. But just like, I don't know, I feel like Sing is living a little bit dangerously just because they don't have that other phase gate. And I mean, you saw what happened last game. As JJ accidentally shoots Salads in the back of the head with a shotgun. But we're gonna see the swarm here moving in on JJ and Sharp, who are perhaps a little bit too far forward there. Not letting the aliens come to them, but they did get a fair amount of damage into Enzo. So 2 Marines down, both shotguns. However, Fisk did he bile them? I think he might have biled them. So that definitely was a win there, because that's 40 res you can't pick back up. First veil is done finally. Salad's getting wiped out by fades. JJ and Sharp showing up next. Fisk just chasing them down the hallway. And the group of 4 aliens, again, converging on poor JJ, who's all by himself. The turrets will help a bit, so if he could get out of there and go stand, you know, by the RT, that'll be some nice chip damage on, you know, everything. Except for the fact Fisk is going to work on biobombing that, and he does finally go down. He's sitting at... where is he? He's sitting at 45 res, so it's a little while longer before he's able to be an Onos, which is his, you know, one life form that he plays. Bruno again gets very low, so these fades are doing a good job of getting out when they're really freaking low. Okay, we do have finally the third phase gate up that's set up basically for the other hive. For when it's pretty much time for that. And Singularity did lose some res while that arcing was going on. I mean, obviously they were biting res, they were taking down a few RTs, but it's kind of late at this point. I mean, if they're able to hold on to that that particular point on the map, I mean, they have the arc factory safely over there. They're making a max so that we don't even have to spend time welding it. But just like, you know, it looks like they're wheeling their arcs down the map, and they probably need to kill that one sis so the arcs don't move at like -2 miles an hour. Salads versus Inzo here. Poor Salads is left on his pistol. Rising better watch out though, because they're kind of some, you know, sentries. And Rising just gets destroyed. However, let's see, he's at 37 res, so you know, he can go be a alert again, no problem. They're gonna converge on the gate here, which is pretty much toast. And Mikan's got a shotgun, so he'll help. Oh, JJ gets through the gate. They're able to bait him off just long enough to let JJ come through. Fisk is working really hard on trying to kill that gate, but it's only getting down to about 17%. Zoloko moves in, takes out Mikan. And then we're gonna try again on that gate. I mean, there's a fade in there. I mean, it doesn't have any armor, so the fades will work on chipping down that gate, so it will die. So that's another shotgun down, and we're seeing arcs are just like obliterating all kinds of stuff up there, and they're gonna have a fade sit on the arcs, which seems kind of silly. Just have the local bite that. Don't worry about it. So Rising is back up his lurk. He takes a lot of damage from the sentries, though. Those things are like really good at just ripping the faces off of lurks. And they're gonna start on AA. So they have weapons 3, AA, you know, oh, they were still on armor 1 though. So the armor 2 will definitely help out with all these higher life forms. So we see stuff blinking all over the map. Bruno must have had something silly happening. Ryzen, again, getting very low. But we're seeing res being bitten everywhere. We're seeing the assist chain being everywhere. We're seeing Bruno moving on in. Oh, never mind. Changed his mind. But they're going to try and get the phase gate up again. And they're going to put some serious damage into Bruno, who's now stuck up there. Oh, okay, never mind. He can get out through a vent. I believe there is a vent there, but we can't see because we're up in... Yeah, okay, there's that vent. It's the one that goes through the, like, pipe thingy. Alright, so Inzo and Zoloko moving in on Wake and JJ. Zoloko's able to take out Wake, no problem, and now he's going to move in on JJ. He's going to clean him up, no problem, but Bruno's right there. There's a fade. And, of course, you know, that kind of is a lot harder to deal with. AA is almost done at this point, so they'll... I don't know what... I mean, even a grenade launcher is probably pretty good for clearing out a bunch of this crud they have around there. I mean, it means that they will have to get closer as, you know, actual Marines. But definitely for the HMGs, for taking out these life forms, they can just be like, go away, fades, and then put a zillion bullets into them. No, that'll probably be pretty useful. Armor 2 also finally done, so that'll help out a lot because it's that much more damage that the fades have to put into them, and you know, the skulks and all the more spikes that they can survive. And Bruno's gonna have to go out and go hide. So they're gonna get that phase gate up, and they're getting some more sentries setting up too. Parsnip does seem to like sentries, or no, never mind. I'm thinking of the other way, because Parsnip's actually known for putting up sentries. So Kane's actually going for the sentries this time. Seeing Bruno, I'm not quite sure where he's going, but he's going on a grand adventure. Sharp pushing forward, and just say a lot of, you know, Marines getting picked off as they push a little bit too far forward. JJ kind of hiding in a corner there, but Bruno's going to be able to easily see him. I mean, he's a fade, so pretty much, you know, 80% of the time you're going to see a fade with aura instead of, you know, silence or camouflage. The sentries are going to be really annoying and just slowly chip at Bruno's armor, but it gets, oh, a couple of nice meat shots there from Sharp. We have Fisk up as the Onos, hiding in way the heck up there in that little switchback that has no name. Oh, I guess it does have a name. It's loading. That's loading. Hey everyone, I learned something new. That room is called loading. So Sharp's doing some welding to make sure that they can't just take out the power there. So they have the sentries there. The JJ pops through the gate and ends up getting completely destroyed. The sentries don't really do all that much for, you know, Onos. And I can't tell if he's tanking the sentries, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is. And they're going to lose the phase gate. Now he's going to go after the battery. He's actually getting fairly low at this point, but he takes out the battery, so those sentries are totally useless now. Cat packs are started. They don't have HMGs. They just have the grenade launchers, but they have weapons. They have weapons 3s, and they're getting cat packs soon too, so that'll be much easier for them to be able to try and just like waste these higher life forms, especially Fisk bits. They can chase after them. Oh, and Zoloko too. Sorry, both of them together. Alright, so the group of 3 moving in to try and re-secure a gate. And it looks like they're actually going to go for one back in here. Alright, so I think Kane was suggesting that they put it farther back into the actual other room. Maybe he misclicked and put it a little bit too far into the hall. No, wait, it was like right here, wasn't it? Anyway, they're going to put the gate back where it was, and Bruno's there to try and get some chip damage on those Marines. Meanwhile, this other gate is getting completely swarmed. Zoloko's down to pretty low health. He's being chased by Wake. But he gets out with 4% HP. JJ's there to cut him off. He's shooting at the wrong one. Zoloko's hiding underneath. He has to see him. And Zoloko goes down. Rising tries to save him and gets there too late. So the phase gate and sentries are down up here in Northern Biosphere. Yes, that room. But they lost one of the Oni. Mikon gets taken out there by Bruno. Wake's pushing forward to try and save that. Both those phases are pretty hurt. But here's the group of 3. They're going to be rotating, it looks like, back up to the northern part to try and reestablish that central gate. I mean, Fisty's going to have to be careful. No, I guess they're having some issues there with the FPS over here in Northern Biosphere, I'm assuming. Well, basically this whole center of the map where it's very open. Definitely something that'll probably, hopefully be improved upon as time goes on. JJ there all by himself, well, kind of by himself. Mikon getting some shots down the hallway. Just not able to reestablish that gate, it looks like. Shotgun down right there. Rising still alive as lurk. That's his re-lurk. He's up to 33 res, so it'll be a while before he's gonna go Onos if that'd be next. Parsnip has enough res as a gorge to be, or as a comm to be gorge, and we just see Enzo get melted there by Sharp. It's finally overstayed his welcome there as a fade, and it's taken out. However, they are able to take out Wake there. They did, looks like, finally take down the power over there in Northern Biosphere. Umbra finally started as well. So taking a look at the res graph, you can see it's been pretty up and down as far as the Marine res goes. I mean, 12 RTs down there. It's like half of the, you know, 1 per minute rule of thumb. But look at what happened at like 10 minutes, just like kill-wise. Aliens started taking off. We're actually going to see Exos here, so that'll be interesting. So they weren't going for HMGs. They're saying, screw it, we want Exos. So we finally get to see some Exos going on in an actual match. Well, maybe, assuming, you know, they're able to keep, you know, Fiskbit and company from killing the base. People come back, they have cat packs. Looks like we're going to have JJ showing up from the other side, but the thing is that Fisk isn't all that low. And he's actually shooting at Rising instead. So it would have been interesting to see how much damage he could have gotten into, well, okay, they're both injured, so they're going to have to go back and heal, but it would have been more interesting to see how much damage he could have put into Fisk, to see if he could have delayed him enough to be able to actually kill that Onos. So, did they see the Proto? Where is the Proto, anyway? As you can see, Sisting has kind of exploded across the map. I'm having such issues trying to find the stupid Proto. Oh, that's because, you know, the Proto's down here. That's why I couldn't find it. It's hiding right around the corner. So definitely good to have those sentries there. It'll sort of, you know, prevent, you know, the skulks from going through at least. Sure, it won't do much for stopping Fiskbit and the fades necessarily. But it looks like JJ, nope, not gonna get one. Come on, guys, I'm waiting for one of you guys to grab an Exo. We want to see Exos, guys. And there we go. We got JJ up as an EXO. As and Bruno gets melted by Wake. So they're out of fades now. Well, okay, never mind. Inzo refaded recently. So we have two EXOs and 2 shotgunners, which I'm assuming also have welders. Yeah, Mikon would Wake. Also moving in. They're just gonna go into the hive. Is this the hive that Parsnip's at? I'm not sure. But they got a freaking whip in the doorway, so that'll be annoying to deal with. And this is pretty much everyone in there. I hope they really need to drop another chair just in case. I'm feeling. Because that's everybody right there. And you can see there are aliens moving towards that section of the map. You can see that there's the logo, there's Inzo, there's Bruno. They're waiting for Fiskbit. You can see Rising's right there. He was blowing up a mine. And here they all come into base. So they're gonna have to beacon that instantaneously. That leaves the two X's by themselves, and they needed that second chair. Re-beacon to get people alive again. Sharp and Wake. Rising goes down. Veils are gone. Command is destroyed. They lost all that lovely stuff. And they have so much res stockpiled, they're just going to be able to beacon again and again to be able to try and get these people alive again. Where's the second chair? They did drop the second chair, so here comes Rising. Command got destroyed. They have a Mac over there welding him. But Fisk is getting really low. If they can beacon again? Actually, they need to drop the other chair. Just so much res has just gone down the tube. But Fisk is going to end up throwing his Onos if he isn't careful. He's really low. He's really stupidly low. And just all the beacons, they dropped another hive. Salads is almost done with the chair there, and we got a Mac on the power. So that was interesting. Well then. Fisk is still really stupidly low, but there's stuff in the way. He can't even go through that hallway. There's turrets. He's kind of pinched. Please go find the Onos. Alright. So we have this Onos trundling along. That's unfortunate. They could have had him. Salads gets back in his exo just in time to get exploded. Oh, poor Salads.
Under attack.
Poor Salads. Poor Mac. Alright. The second base there is getting recycled, it looks like, and they're going to roll the arc back. They need to do some cleanup there, because obviously there's kind of cysts, like, you know, everywhere. The AA is gone. They still have the Proto, though, because that's still parked nicely over here. I don't think anyone saw it. Sharp is still an exo. It looks like we're seeing another push towards base. With 2 Onai. Bruno and Rising both up as Onos. Well, okay, there's 3 then. There's 3 Onos. This is 3 Onos to win. Where the heck is Fisk? He's trundling along from the other side, so he made a giant lap of the base. Alright, so Sharp is just like... Alright, we got a beacon again. And of course, they're short players because they don't have the exo. So unless he bailed out, power is out in over here in asteroid tracking. So they currently have like nothing except for exos. So that'll be well. All right, Sharp's working on that on the IPs. They're trying to recycle and relocate over here to command. At base has pretty much been obliterated except for that one IP that has been left alone. Mikon's alive again. Sharp back in his exo. He's just camping out on top of the RT, or on top of the tech point. Looks like that the Proto finally got spotted, but here come the exo. Here come all of the aliens. This is the final stand. We're seeing Fiskbit just going in against Sharp, and he just kind of gets exploded. If they're able to hold this off with just an exo, that would be awesome, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. We have JJ popping through. Though we have Inzo and Bruno both really low on health, and Zloku's like even lower health. Everybody's dead, except for Kane right now, and the IP is dead. So that'll be GG right here. So that was a very silly round there. Lots of weirdness at the end, but so now we're up to 1-1. Alien wins. I think this is probably a map where that wouldn't be too surprising. So now we will be moving on to Veil. Let's see here. Alright, give me 1 sec. Alright, I had a marine on my head. Okay, so Vale. Everybody at least knows Vale. Let's see. It looks like there were lovely arguments going on in chat about stuff. Yeah, having all of the Marines and stuff in there. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Guys, chat, can you stop being annoying? Oh well. Anyway, that was an interesting round. They were so close to being able to take out Fiskbit in earlier on. If they'd realized that he was down there and realized just how low health he was, I don't know whether they would have wanted to scan that or whatever. They could have gone and taken him out and made it a little bit easier at least. They could have maybe had a little bit of an a little bit of a window to be able to go through stuff, but I think at that point they just weren't able. They just didn't have enough forward momentum. They should have had the second gate up earlier, perhaps, and been able to, and going through and poking at the other base and just trying to like split them up, maybe. Just finding some sort of way to be able to like make sure that they weren't gonna end up letting the aliens just hold on to the res for so long. Somebody. Oh no, chat. I actually can't see when you guys time people out, so for all I know, you could have timed out freaking everyone. Anyway, we are moving on. We've moved on to Vale. We have pretty much everyone in here at the moment, except for one person for Over.Extension, it looks like. Who is it? Looks like it's Bruno, I think. Yeah, it's Bruno. Bruno's has it. Wait, did he say something? No, okay, that was Sharp saying something. Anyway, obviously on Vale, I think that both teams have a much better idea of what they're going to be trying to do, and we're going to see fights over here in this is East Junction. Yeah, East Junction, as I'm mixing up East and West randomly, and West Junction. And we may or may not see any silly base rushes right at the beginning, depending on who ends up taking Nano. But much more predictable game, and in that aspect, I'm sure that most reading the chat in game. But anyway, at least for Vale, I think that the teams will probably be a lot more happy playing on here just because it's familiar and it doesn't have FPS problems. I mean, it's not like, still under a reasonably heavy amount of development to try and make it a playable map. But yeah, apparently that kill that just completely obliterated Rising, his first lurk, apparently scared, he had aura and didn't see him, and he was sad. And JJ also scared him. I have here. He didn't hear it over the frantic Fisk girl screams. That was some fun seeing Fisk just saving that stupid tunnel for a long time. Just every time he'd pop out of the tunnel, heal it a bit, and get enough heal on that so that they couldn't really finish it off finish it off as a in one clip, and then he'd wait for his energy to heal up again, and then he popped out of the freaking tunnel again and healed up the tunnel again while slowly the Marines get whittled down, but they did eventually get that, so oh well. Oh wow, and apparently that I'm assuming that part earlier where Bruno was like he said like lol or something in chat. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about there is that he got stuck on everything possible and apparently was down to 9 health at some point before escaping. Looks like everybody got to the end of that round. Yeah, the 2X's seemed like it was a bad thing. Just not able to hold on to that position when you have two people that can't beacon back. I mean, to that point, maybe you should just run back to the gate, park your exos, and jump out. I mean, they'll still be there theoretically, assuming nobody finds them. Sure, there's the risk that or they will stay there, right? If you jump out of an exo and you stay, you know, it won't just disappear like a shotgun on the ground, right? I actually don't know because normally people don't jump out of exos. Anyway, we will be moving on shortly to round 3 here. It looks like Sing is all ready to go, so we're waiting on Over.Extension. Parsnip's in the chair and all ready to go. So hopefully pretty soon here we'll be seeing them going. I'm curious to see whether or not they... Oh, okay, we are gonna get going here. We'll have to see whether or not they end up, Oh, chat. Such a drama. Anyway, round 3 between Over.Extension and Singularity. Over.Extension back as Marines, obviously starting up here in control. They're gonna go for mines again, so they don't... I'm assuming that means they don't quite trust their lane blocking. That or they're gonna try and go for instant pressure into nanogrid for C1. That'd be Ziloko heading over there to start building over in Skylights, but we have 4 Skulks over on that side. So he's gonna get just obliterated. Parsnip's already out. I guess Fisk started in the chair. 1 Skulk down. 2 Skulk down. 3 Skulk down. Parsnip getting a lot of kills there, and he finally gets taken down by Mekon, and then Fisk cleans up Mekon, and so there goes all the Skulks. So, not exactly the best there. Oh gosh, they're going for an OBS early too. It seems to be part of like Parsnip's standard build, it seems like, is to go for an early OBS. Not necessarily early phase tech, but to have that OBS there. I mean, it just feels like to me... Oh, and we're seeing the battle here for Nano going on. Sharp there as the little battle gorge. Fighting with Enzo. Here comes Mekon and Celis to come and clean that up. With Rising trying very hard to try and kill these. He takes down one of the Skulks. He might actually... Oh, no. He's not going to get the other one. Anyway. So we got the tunnel going up there in Nano. And all things considered, let's take a look at the team kills. Obviously not much to see at, you know, a minute 17 seconds into the game. But either way, there hasn't been too much, you know... I think both teams have had quite a few of their members ending up keeling over dead here because of the other team. So not too much progression, but as I was saying, it's... Oh, JJ is going to risk his life there with the mine there on the side of the vent. Salas is obviously hiding up in the little ridges in the ceiling there. I'm assuming Fisk will end up checking it out. Oh, never mind. He's going to go over to C12 to cap along with Bruno. And Rising, I guess, will be the guy holding place there in East. He's not going to check the ceiling. Oh, almost. Oh, Salads actually didn't get any bites on him or anything. Sure, he is the parasite, but he just whiffed those bites if he was able to actually get close enough. Anyway, they're going to cap that. We have people being annoying over here in system. That'll be Zloko and Enzo setting up a couple mines. But they aren't over by the mines to be able to really use them as defensive. So that's going to get blown up by Sis. They don't even have to spend all this time blowing it up. They could just put a Sis there and it'll just go away by itself. So that was kind of useless as far as mines go. If you're going to drop a mine and try and use it to try and help kill Skulks that, you know, are attacking you, you need to, like, actually be fighting by the mine. Not just throw a mine because you have one. Rising picking off one of the Skulks, but Mekon and Salads are still alive. They're gonna go after Topo. Anyway, I just feel like this OBS plus mines thing that Parsnip seems to love doing just feels like he doesn't trust them to do anything with lane blocking. Like, it's like they're saying, hi, we do not believe in lane blocking right now. It looks like Bruno just got a nice kill there. Mikan and Salad's over here. I'm assuming it was over here in Topo because that mine is no longer there. What? Enzo, what are you doing? He starts building the RT and then runs away. Okay, I guess Rising's gonna get him. Anyway. 2 down here in cargo. We got Bruno and Fisk just plunking away at all the systems here. We had Wake up as the lurk. I'm assuming they're going 1 lurk again. Actually, Salads has 2 res. Salads is a lurk. If Salads lurk, maybe. Yep, Salads lurk. Alright. So 2 lurks this time. And Enzo actually rushed into Nanogrid to try and put some damage onto that tunnel, it looks like. But here's the thing, there's a Crag in there, and it's actually heal waving, so that's gonna make it super easy for them to be able to hold on to that. Rising trying to sweetie bot around a corner there. It's a fair amount of damage onto Wake. Almost. Again, had gotten a little damage onto C12 there, but obviously Rising's in there. Oh, he gets it. Wait. No, Bruno gets the nice pick. He was crouching through the vent and ends up getting the pick there. Singularity getting a good start there on their RTs. Over.Extension obviously sitting at about at 5 at the moment. It looks like they're going to be going in there to try and cap in, what's it? This room, Overlook, since there's nobody there at the moment. Rising and Zloco putting some more pressure on a Nano, I would assume, unless they're going to be going down to cargo. They're standing in that little Nano connector thing, so... Yep, okay, they're going to go to cargo and cut the cis chain, I'm assuming, as they're going. However, they have Salads right behind them, so he's going to get some chip damage on Zloco, who almost gets split up from Rising. And they're going to be able to get through into cargo. So that's a much better room for them to fight in just because, well, the Skulks have, like, no chance of getting close if they're able to, you know, actually target the same one. Oh my god, chat. I see there's a giant text wall in there, but I can't talk about it. Anyway, we got Salads in Zloco, got a nice bite on him. And Wake actually goes down there. Zloco takes him out. I mean, just this big openness of this room just is so much more Marine favored, at least when you're standing, you know, in the back half of it. I mean, up around the boxes, sure, aliens can have a field day, but if you're standing, like, you know, back here, look at all the nice room that you have to shoot at. So they're down 1 lurk, and we have some Marines pushing into base. We had Enzo and Fisk both in the base. Now they're both gone, but they still have 1 lurk up. That'd be Salads. And they still have their Gorge too. So Sharp is just like chilling out, being a battle Gorge when it's necessary. And they'll probably Zloco and Rising cleaned up that Harvester. So they're probably I mean, with the person staying up as the Gorge and not, you know, dying horribly in some great battle for Nano. I mean, that's a player that currently can't, like, do much as far as, you know, fighting res goes. So I'm hoping that they have some sort of plan for what they're going to be doing with that lurk. Salad's actually getting really low, and he can't really do much of anything because he's kind of trapped on the vent. And they can actually go after him now fairly easily. But Salads is able to go and, you know, sneak out through system waypoint and get back to the hive. Meanwhile, they got power down in C12, so that'll help slow that down. You can see they actually dropped the harvest there too, so that'll also hurt Over.Extension's res. They've only taken, I mean, both teams have taken down 3 RTs now. But it's only 6 minutes in, so it's not exactly the greatest rate for either of them. Actually, it's pretty good for the Marines, because it always seems like the Marines have a lot harder time, like, actually taking down RTs than, you know, the aliens do. I mean, they aren't really designed to just, like, obliterate harvesters the way that Skulks are so awesome at, you know, destroying extractors. Phase Tech has been started. They're up to Armor 2 here fairly soon. And we're seeing that harvester that had been dropped in C12 is actually going to stay alive. Seeing Salads, Enzo, and that was Fisk. Again, pushing into the hive, but, you know, there isn't really... I mean, they have the hive there for the healing, so all the fights that they take in that room are going to be pretty alien biased just because, well, they can, you know, hide behind this giant freaking glowing thing in the middle of the room and get healing. But now that they push back into the system, they have slightly more of a chance. And however, it did get cleaned up, and they're gonna get weapons 2 rolling along here. We're right about now. So they're probably trying to figure out where the heck. Oh, Sharp backing into the vent. Is he gonna make it? He ducks down. And the Gorge will live to fight another day. Meanwhile, the Swarm has taken over by C12. Okay, they did lose the Harvester there finally. That was, like, desisted that whole time, I think. So the only reason it was alive was because Sharp kept healing it. So at this point, we'll have to see what they end up doing it. But again, I mean, Sharp's doing a pretty good job at just running around and being obnoxious with the Gorge, trying to keep people alive and all that nonsense. But we do have the Fades up, so we have JJ and Mikan both up as Fades. And Sharp is just throwing his Gorge at this point, obviously. But that's kind of weird because this is about the time you want the Gorge. This is the time where you want the Gorge to be able to be like, hey, go build this hive. But since he threw his Gorge, well, now he can't go build the hive. But it looks like Kane has pretty much has almost enough res to be able to do that himself. They do have the tunnel set up there, right in the neck, but that's gonna go away. Goodbye, tunnel. But it's been pretty even here. I mean, sitting at about 4 RTs for both teams. I mean, give or take. At the moment, currently though, Singularity has more RTs. They're sitting at 5. So that's going to be a lot better for them. It looks like we're going to get a neck gate. That is a gate, right? Yeah, that is a gate. Wow, that is a really bad gate. Again, up in a corner. It's like right up against a wall. You cannot jump out of that thing. Parsnip, I think that the other comms and I need to have a talk with you about gate positioning. Because some of these have not been so good. But yeah, that's not exactly the greatest gate if it gets ground, but I'm hoping they're going to get another position to it. Actually, that gate, I mean, what is it doing? That isn't giving them any forward position on the map. It was just giving them a little bit of, you know, a way they could go pinch alert. Potentially. I mean, where's the east gate? That's what they need. So they need like an east or west gate, or like a dome gate, or like a something other than net gate, because there's no hive in freaking pipe. Maybe if the hive had been in pipe. Anyway, Enzo's in there. He's surrounded by a billion aliens, and Rising's coming in as well. Both the Fades are kind of low. But that... Oh, he actually picks off Salads before he's able to get around the corner. So then again, maybe that gate is worth it just because they got a lurk kill. I mean, 15 T-res versus 20 P-res. Pretty good win there for Over.Extension then. You can see that they have the power almost set up over here in... what was it? JJ barely getting out with his pointy little arms intact. But they almost had the power up there in system, but the thing is that they obviously don't have the gate built yet. And they obviously know that they're kind of Marines right outside their hive, so they get cleaned up right there. But it's set for if they decide they want to come through and put a gate there, which I'm assuming is something they probably want to do at some point, not too far in the distant future. A hive down there in cargo, obviously. We're already building, it's up to 75%. Rising and Mikan and JJ and who was that? Was it Enzo? Yeah. All having your grand battle in there. The Crag that had been dropped gets obliterated. Mikan might end up dying here. All he needs is... Oh, no. Never mind. He only needed another pistol shot or something to take him out, so... One Fade getting out of there, or again, barely with his pointy arms intact. Wait coming in to try and help out. And they end up cleaning that up, no problem. Alright, so both the Fades kind of hanging out here. It looks like they're going to move the gate up from... I'm assuming they're going to move the gate up from the neck to dome. It is, obviously, is not dropped yet, but, like... Why don't they go for the east gate? That is just such a classic thing, is to go for the east gate. And instead they're going to arc from dome? And there isn't a gate up yet. Where's the gate? Okay, there's the gate. Build the gate first, please. Okay, they're going to build the gate first. And they got 4 Marines just clustered around there. Meanwhile, the alien res has like gone bananas because they've been so hyper-focused on this right side of the map that they had this like puny little phase gate triangle that is doing not much of anything. I mean, sure, it holds off pipeline, but guess what? They have a skulk that's escaped into Topo. I mean, that's the great part about East Junction, is that over here in East Junction, it's blocking a lane. It's keeping them out of your base. The way the gates are right now, they have clearance. They could just say, hey guys, let's rush base. You know, we'll have one Fade or something hang out and just distract them, and then we'll have everybody rush into their base and just kill it. And we'll send a drifter in, while they're distracted, we'll send a drifter into pipe to make sure they can't cap there. And just have everybody go to base. Because guess what? They have an entire lane open through East Junction and Topo. Because there's nobody there. I mean, if you're going to have gates there, or if you're going to have gates on the map, you need to make sure that they're at least doing something for your team. Dome gate, sure. That is a nice forward gate to be able to approach the cargo hive. Bruno and Zaloco down here. Okay, now joined by Enzo. Got a little bit of damage on those life forms, but if you're gonna have gates, you gotta have them in places that actually do something for you, and that one in the neck is totally useless at this point other than a backup. It's not even that great of a backup at this point, because it's so, you know, it's kind of a run. I mean, get your east gate. Get your east gate, get your dome gate. Then you can, you know, be able to run around corners, or run, you know, if one of them gets killed, you can run around the corner to the other one. You can see, as I mentioned previously when I screwed up, yeah, Parsnip does like his sentries, and they're just gonna shotgun rush this hive. They actually went for grenades as well to try and help kill the armor on pretty much everything here, and they're actually getting a lot of damage into the hive there. So everybody's sort of clustered in that back part of the room. Another grenade going down. They actually take down the cargo hive there. Notice a shift hive, which is an interesting choice, and they did go for leap. I actually didn't notice it was a shift hive, but I don't think they got they got 2 of the 3 spurs down at the very least. But they did lose the net gate, not that it really was doing much of anything. Meanwhile, going on in base, Lurk goes down. Is that the base gate too? The base gate also goes down, so they have 3 people now sort of trapped. So they have an arc or not an arc factory, just a robo, kind of sitting there with, you know, some sentries and a couple mines and a phase gate that doesn't work. So I don't know. And they just redrop the hive. They're like, screw you guys, we're redropping this hive. So they're regrowing the hive down there in cargo, and we see the group of shotguns all pushing through again. The fades are all set up to go and pounce on them. You can see there's some fight going on near base, but I don't know whether that's... I mean, well, there goes 40 Riz again. Not that... I mean, they have 6 RTs, though. I mean... And yet Over.Extension's been keeping up, so I don't even know. I don't even know. Alright, that's what the thing was. It was a lovely distraction time while they went and kill everything up here. JJ actually dies, though. Kane goes down as the little Gorgie, and they didn't get that gate down. They got rid of the turrets, but... not exactly a win there for Singularity. But they have a ton of res, on the other hand. The power's down over here in Skylights, sorry. And they've moved the phase gate up into cargo. This is probably a time where you could drop a hive and pipeline and nobody will notice. Or you could have everybody just go through and go to base and say, hi guys, we're in your base killing your dudes. Which it looks like that's what they're doing. They're saying, hey, we know where the phase gates are. Oh, Bruno's in there though. He was in there recapping. So that's not going to work actually. They started going that direction. And then it got foiled by Bruno. It's all Bruno's fault. JJ, however, manages to make it by, and though he's not going to be able to do much of anything all by his lonesome. Actually, they could just resist over through there instead. There's just so many potential things that you can see happen here from this. Okay, they are going to go for arcs. What happened? Oh, he got killed a pulse grenade. Alright. Bruno by himself there versus Mikon. Mikon ends up taking him out. No problem. We got Sharp up as Onos now. But we have Rising and Fisk who are poking into base, and they're going to move the gate up to, I'm assuming that'll be the dome gate will be moved up to system. So finishing the power, they're getting the gate up. Meanwhile, it looks like, I don't know, I really want to see the ninja hive going on here and the demented triangle of gates. Oh, they was going to move up the one there in cargo. There's pipeline hive. I mean, just, I don't know. They're putting up an armory wall and they're moving the arc factory? Or they're building a new one? Salads versus Bruno. Yeah, they're recycling the other. I don't even know why they upgraded it to an arc factory over there. Sharp able to get a little bit of damage, but not able to do much of anything. They really need somebody to be like, go be a gorge and put a tunnel up between the 2 hives. I mean, look at the sisting. This like lovely trollish sisting that goes all the way around through, as we're saying, the Onos there, charging into the armory wall. Oh, no, never mind, it's not much of a wall. Oh, Sharp getting... Okay, he was like, yeah, I can get through, and then, you know, realized that his health was kind of low. Look at this sisting. Look at this. It, like, goes like... That is the sis chain. That is an amazing sis chain. I like it. And we have 2 Onai now. We have Salads also up his Onos. He's charging in. He takes out Fiskbit. So let's go throwing some grenades there. Ample use of grenades, which is odd. Hey chat, can you quit being trolls? 4 shotguns and an arc pushing into the hive here, and it's not looking so good for Singularity, aside from the fact that the cis chain is alive again. The magical cis chain. They need like a shade to hide the cysts or something. That would be great. Put a shade like right here to hide the cysts. Anyway, we're seeing Sharp getting in there. He's going to get really low. Is he going to be able to get out around the corner? He is going to be able to get out around the corner. Salad's also able to get out and around the corner. Zaloko gonna... Maybe... He takes out JJ, though. Biscuit, Bruno, and Zaloko all hanging out there in system, throwing down another couple grenades. I mean, that's a lot of Pyros, though. I mean, they're only like 3 or something for 2, isn't it? So it's not like it's a huge amount, but it's like, you know, you throw enough grenades and over time you're going to end up not being able to buy a shotgun. And they just kind of seem like they've stalled out on research and stuff. They're down to 3 RTs, and meanwhile, the aliens are sitting at like 6. Oh, Arms Lab. Arms Lab. Goodbye, Arms Lab. Mikan going in there. Mikan decides to leave. Alright, who got that? Who killed the Arms Lab? It was Mikan. Meanwhile, the swarm has attacked system and everything has gone away. And the hive? The hive is at 88% grown, and though Mikan is there, they might be able to... I mean, they have the Crag there as well, so it's like they know that hive is there and almost done. They still have the dome gate. But Singularity's sitting at 118 res. They might as well just YOLO drop the cargo hive as well, because why not? I mean, might as well. Econ's gonna have to get out because, well, he's kind of low in health. Meanwhile, there's stuff blinking everywhere. It's like just people... Alright, we got 2 Onai going into the gate, and they're gonna take out the gate. They say, screw the hive, we're gonna take out the gate here and make sure that they lose all of their map positioning, because that's their only foothold on this whole map at the moment. That probably would have been a wise decision why they should have kept the cargo gate, just because, well... Oh, they were starting to build a gate down here in Pipeline. Power is at half health because of the infestation. But we got Onai in there, so they're gonna get obliterated. The hive, or the gate actually goes up, and here comes all of them. Why did they build the gate in the corner? Parsnip, your gates! Why are you building them against walls? And so they're gonna get that hive. That hive is now done. They can YOLO drop cargo. And Over.Extension? Yeah. I mean, they've been keeping ahead as far as kills go, but I think that's just the initial thing. And you can see there was like a flat line there, which I'm assuming was between hives. But at this point, Singularity's just gonna start like snowballing because they have their 3rd hive drop. They have 7 RTs starting. They have 2 Onai. They have JJ up his lurk. Wait can go Onos. They can go 3 Onos and win now. Mikan can also go Onos, so they could go 4 Onos and be total weirdos. I mean, because you only really need 3 Onai, and if something terrible happens, you don't want to like totally throw everything. But they don't have enough for like jetpacks or cat packs or anything. So really, Over.Extension is pretty much doomed to die a slow death here. We still have 80 res, so they could build like a forest of whips and just like walk them along the hallways and stuff. I mean, Kana has got a lot of res to work with, as I saw it mentioned in the chat, that his problem is he floats a lot of res. And that's definitely obvious on this game. He has a bazillion freaking res at this point. Biscuit versus 2 Fates. Okay, there's the cat packs. Why are you even bothering with cat packs? That is the thing. Cat packs are good when you have lots of res, because each one of them is so stupidly expensive. I mean, you get cat packs, you're like, oh, we're seeing an ace gate finally. An ace gate, behold! They almost take down Sharp though. Salads is doing work though. He's got the not the mucus, but the enzyme going on. We got Wake Up as the third Onos. Mikan zipping around as the Fade. Take out Fisk first, because of course he had the shotgun, and Bruno gets trampled next. Cat packs are almost done. Yeah, they're just gonna GG. Alright. So, another alien win here. Rising? Where are you? Oh, he was running into the hive. Alright. So it'll be coming up on the last round here. All alien wins. Well, that was amusing. Alright. So, Singularity back as Marines now. Here's the question: can they get a third round against Over.Extension, or is Over.Extension going to be able to continue this whole thing with alien wins and be able to actually take this and make it 2-2? Maybe I'll tab here for a moment. See what the heck is all this trolling that's been going on in my chat, guys. Doot 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 doot. Lots of trolling going on. But yeah, I think that Overextension got up to a bad start with having the gate over in the neck when there was no point to it. Again, you're putting phase gates down, make them freaking do something. They're either securing you lanes on the map, or they are giving you forward positions to push, to push from. That's why Eastgate is great. It allows you to push to Nano. It allows you to block the lane from Topo. Of course, there's the vent there, so, it's not 100%, but it's certainly better than, having your gate in neck and having a lane where freaking an Onos can walk through here. Of course, at that point of the game, there wasn't an Onos, but, you could walk an Onos through there and nobody'd be the wiser. Except for the dome. Okay, so you stealth Onos through there. Anyway. And the same thing with West. It's, sort of mirrored in that aspect. You set up in West and you're blocking, except for the vent, from Overlook to Skylights. And you're, again, allowing to push into Nano. That's why, system is good. It allows you to push into cargo or subsector while holding the lane, basically on the left side of the map, aside from the vent from Nanogrid. I mean, there's just so much stuff like that. Or, okay, yeah, they could go through the vent and, it's, okay, I'm just saying this. I'll just add the footnote here. Aside from vents where you have to go way out of your way. Or vents in general. But, they're just... I don't know. I think Parsnip made some... or whoever was calling for those gates, wasn't exactly making the best choices on them. Between the neck and just putting them next to walls when, I mean, if the gate isn't really being, ground down, you want to be able to jump out and actually get somewhere, not 5 inches into the wall and then have the skulk twitch forward and be able to kill you. Alright. So we have one ready up? Yeah, we have Overextension all ready to go, so it's just waiting on Singularity to get things rolling here. Kinda F4ing for a moment. Alright, so I guess if Overextension... When's this game? Trying to read chat here. Alright, so if Sang wins this, I guess that'll mean that they have won the regular season, and then will be the first seed for playoffs. That means Overextension will be still sitting at third. Unless, you know, Yggdrasil goes and wins like a ton of rounds for, at least I think it's Yggdrasil who's in 5th currently. Unless they go and win a ton of rounds, and that they may pass them. I'm not 100% sure though. I am not currently obviously tabbed into the whole thingy with all the stats, and we're gonna move into the final round here of Singularity versus Over.Extension. So let's see how this all goes. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. JJ went AFK. Blame JJ. All JJ's fault. All right. So kind of, so Tico was all like, "Good luck, have fun," and then kind of, yeah, JJ still AFK. Oh snap! Oh, wow, Connie, I looked up now. Thanks. Nothing new there. Oh snap! Both teams disqualified. We're done here. Uh, all right. So we have Overextension still readied up, and we are still waiting on this final round. Again, I know I've seen Singularity throw matches on Veil. I've seen them throw a match on Veil where Kane jumped out of the chair and then got wrecked by Gorge and some skulks while the rest of his team was pushing into Nano. And it was a very short round, and I forget who they were playing, but it was somebody where they should have won, and I think they did go on to win like all the other rounds, but you know, there you go. Anyway, I can see that somebody's still. I can see the chat is still going on about playoffs and stuff. So I'm not quite sure what's all going to be the numbers on this. Again, we have we have one more match for Division One, and I think that most of the other matches, aside from like week 5 and 6 matches, are all still. I mean, there's still enough of them that it's probably still reasonably up in the air. I believe that Premier and freaking Division 4 also continue on for a couple more weeks after this. I'm assuming the middle divisions, both that'd be 1 through 3, will probably have their finals basically as soon as they're all done. But I'm not exactly sure because like you know I'm not in control of that. I'm just speculating here. Zephyr can tell us like what's gonna be up with playoffs and all that. But as I said, no division I think has all their matches done. Oh, I could be wrong, but I think that there's enough spaces still yet to be filled out on the like casting schedule that no division has all their matches done. All right, so finally JJ must be back, so we're gonna move into round 4 for reals this time. Maybe. All right. Round 4 between Singularity and Overextension. We're seeing a pipeline hive, and we already see Fisk is a little gorgy down there. We'll drop a tunnel and then run into Nano, which for some reason is also being assisted. So they really, really, really want Nano. No question there. Or maybe he's gonna go to cargo or something. I mean, normally if you're getting your gorge, you aren't gonna spend that's a lot of cysts too. That is like cystacular in there. Salad's over there getting a lot of chip damage on Enzo. I'm gonna work on building up that RT. Sharp's sitting in the vent. He's really close to the edge on that vent. Actually, JJ's in there too, and he's parasited, so I don't know whether he's trying to like bait Rising in, which looks like what might be what's happening is he's trying to bait Rising in, and then Sharp will come around the corner and just clobber him. That's a nice play there. Because ordinarily, he knew it. Ordinarily, if you're gonna be in the vent, you aren't gonna be sitting right here. You're gonna be sitting like back here because you have this nice long shooting gallery. Things you don't want to be is like stuck in a vent as a Marine and unable to dodge away when there's like, you know, kind of a skulk in there chomping at your face. Alright. Rising getting in between Wake and JJ there. He ended up picking up Wake, and then Parsnips out of the hive and he gets JJ. We do have the tunnel up to Nano as well, so that is like Hardcore, we really want Nano. I mean, they could have... oh, assist chain got chipped away there, it looks like. And a whip. Oh, a second whip, sorry. So 2 whips and a... What happened to the assist chain, though? I guess that maybe Sharp ducked around the corner and shot it. Armor 1 is done for Singularity. Obviously, they did not go mines. They trust their lane blocking more, I suppose. And since they did not have the giant rush into Nano, they don't really have to worry about losing right off the bat to, you know, Fisk bit the Gorge and friends. But we'll see what happens. Wake and Sharp both split up over here in East Junction. We're seeing at least a couple, you know, some tunnel activity going on the minimap. Bruno and Enzo moving in towards Sharp. Salads is right around the corner, but, you know, both of them were parasited at the time, so it wasn't going to be much of a surprise there. Zilico versus JJ going on in system. Salads and Sharp moving back to the safety of cargo. Again, the assist chain has been cut, and it looks like over-assist that little hallway again. I don't know why he's even bothering with so many assists. I mean, just that initial res, you know, commitment there just seems really silly. I mean, why would you put a billion cysts in there when you're putting a gorge tunnel, which is basically a giant cyst in there anyway? And it would, you know, cover this chunk of the room, I think. Okay, not quite that much, but, you know, it covers a reasonable chunk of the room. I mean, are they really expecting to lose the gorge tunnel that quickly? And the whips are like having an aneurysm and not able to, at least this one is, it's freaking out and not able to realize that it should be throwing stuff at the Marines at the far side of the room. The Crag just gets melted down, and Fisk is over there as the little Gorgie, and he's gonna get destroyed. Parsnip out of the hive, he's over there, and Parsnip gets the kill on Mikan. JJ's all by himself. With the Crag down, that obviously damage on the tunnel won't be able to do much of anything. Sharp's gonna run through, he's gonna get chipped at by the whip, but he's gonna move away from it. Because obviously with Parsnip not being in the hive, he can't exactly macro the whips around. And this one is still just like freaking out. I mean, though they went through and, you know, theoretically improved the whips somewhat, they're still pretty dumb. I mean, they kind of freak out a bit. Alright. Bruno and just kind of having a standoff there with Wake over here in, we have somebody else there. Salads in Nano. We have Rising there as the lurk, and he's able to get the kill on him. And obviously, now both the whips are freaking out. He needs to like really move those whips or something so they stop that. And they need to get a new Crag over there in Nano too. I mean, how about they recycle some of those cysts somehow and turn them into a Crag? Because that'd be awesome. At this point, Over.Extension. Oh, okay. Bruno gets wiped out. Where is it? Where's the tab I want? I mean, they haven't lost any RTs, but look at how many Singularity's been able to take. I mean, it's because they've been so, like... They've pretty much not really adventured too much into the left side of the map for Over.Extension. They're gonna let Singularity end up sitting on 5 RTs. Yeah, sure, they're biting one down right now over here in sub. Come on, just spike him. Spike him, Rising. Spike him. Oh, too late. As Mikan survives on a miracle there because he had like 2 HP and gets a med pack. Fisk out of energy entirely as a skulk, so that's not going to be a very good fight for him. He's going to take down the RT, or rather Mikan is going to get the last hit on it, but so it goes. Sharp finding an RT and a Drifter. He gets the Drifter. Some nice tasty T-res there for him, and they already assisted up here to C12 as well, and that's actually built as well. The obs completed, phase tech started, shotguns going, weapons 2 going. Armor 1 obviously way down a billion years ago practically. So they're pretty well set. I mean, the 5 RTs, that is an awesome number considering aliens have nano, but now they're up to 5 RTs as well. So it's meeting up to equal, which means that it's better for the aliens at this point. Here comes the 2 lurks and a couple skulks. Well, coming into system here where Salads and Mikan are going to be attempting to survive, but it doesn't look like they're surviving very well because no skulks were lost, no skulks were harmed in the making of that fight, or at least not mortally. And both the Marines ended up healing over dead. They're going to lose the Harvester over here in C12, whether they shoot it down or not, even though Rising's going to come in here. He's going to get pretty low. Zoloko's going to change his mind and leave. Zoloko getting very low as well, so that would have been a really nice pinch there for Sharp. But both getting some nice damage and taking those lurks out of commission, at least for the short term. Seeing a lot of res harassment now going on. Enzo kind of hiding in a vent there. RT's going down all over the place. Now they're down to 5 RTs down in 6 minutes of Singularity's extractors, so reasonably good timing there. two skulks up here in the top half of the map. Meanwhile, over let's see, seeing Sharp working on the power there. Bruno can obviously hear him and will be coming over there, but Sharp hears him as well, so they're gonna have a little bit of a standoff in the east. Meanwhile, down here we're having Wake and JJ down here in cargo. Zloco and Rising both, you know, Zloco's actually sitting on the floor. I think he was sitting on the floor there. They're gonna take out the harvester and then probably try to get out of the room. Getting some nice damage on Zloco. But it looks like they're gonna be able to clear that up. Man, why is there drama going on tonight? Guys, can you wait until I'm like not casting to have drama so that way I can read it too? And get like a bowl of popcorn? Okay, Zloco and Rising moving up to Topo. Looks like they were gonna come try and help with that engagement. Fisk was able to take out Sharp there. So Over.Extension down to 3 RT, Singularity down to 3 RT. So they're kind of like working together to mutually kill each other's res. Fades are up though. We got Enzo up his fade, and I'm assuming we'll see Bruno up his fade as soon as he dies, because he's coming in the fight right here in sort of the dome-ish area. He's actually gonna kill Wake. All right, it's pretty much time for Singularity to start being serious business if they want to try and win this round. They need to get a gate somewhere. I mean, they have the tech for it. They almost have the res for it, except for they keep capping. They have the base gate. They have the base gate even. So they need to get their shotguns. They need to get their spot on the map and decide that that's where they're gonna go. I'm thinking that since they even got the power finish. So okay, I just saw that get box selected. So I'm wondering if that means that we're gonna see an east gate showing up here very shortly. So power's down in cargo, so I guess that got completed at some point. Oh yeah, that's right, because they had that cap for a while. Okay, 3 Marines zooming on in to east here. Sharp as well. The Drift just spots everybody. And the gate is up. And that'd be freaking scary to go into as an alien. They're gonna go through and cut the sys chain a bit to try and, you know, give them a little bit more room to work with. They're gonna get the robo started. Mikon on the wrong side of the wall there, but he gets a lot of damage into Bruno. JJ and Sharp though missing their shots onto Enzo, who's able to duck back into Nano to heal. Okay, so we're gonna see them arcing into Nano, but we're seeing both lurks. Okay, the lurks are just on res. Just kidding. So Arc Factory started. We have JJ waiting around a corner. We have Mikon working on an RT. Over.Extension's almost at 5 res. There have been 9 extractors down in 9 minutes-ish. Disc trudging in there to try and help out, and he gets melted. Salad's gonna go down to Zloco there in whatever place that is. Skylights, yeah. So Mikon and Sharp over in C12, and JJ and Wake over in sort of east/Nano. I mean, that's a lot of Marines over on this side of the map, but then again, they have both fades up still, and they have both lurks. And the Onos is still quite a ways away, just because, well, that tunnel plus going gorge ends up slowing down the Onos quite a fair amount. First shotgun ends up going down there. Not enough damage on either of these guys to really make it so that Mikon will probably have any hope of being able to kill them. So that's 2 shotguns down, and JJ and Wake will just have to sit there and just guard the arcs. Sharp can go over and recap though. Actually, it looks like JJ. What are they doing here? They're just gonna push on the life forms here. Enzo gets very low, but the other's 2 more shotguns down. They really need to get some of those back. Oh, it's a Zloco assist down. Okay, that's a shotgun that's been cycled, so that's 20 res that they could possibly go recap. However, we've got phone beeping. We got kind of an issue here with the fact that there were so many dead at the moment, but we got more shotguns out on the field. We got things arcing. Obviously, they don't have the second hive built yet. I mean, they have the 5 RTs, but here's the thing. Just so many cysts have gone everywhere that it's sort of maybe slowed them down on being able to get that second hive. So though Singularity's res has gone down, you can see that stuff is blinking all over the map, but they're able to just walk into Nano now and start working on that. Sharp holding off over here in East. They're chasing the Crag out of Nano so they can arc this faster. They're going to lose the East Gate, but they're building the one up in Nano instead. JJ over there trying to slow that down while they try and get this gate build. It's up to 88%, 90, 97, 100%. Mikon just better stay alive there. They're going to take down Fistbit maybe. Arcs are still going. Rising gets very low. And all the Marines just got wiped. And the gate is still alive. But it looks like it got recycled. Or no, the power! The power! No! As somebody holds down their button there. They didn't get the power up. And they didn't power surge it either. It's like, okay, go for the gate. Nope. So they took down one of the harvesters. They took down a crag. Took down some whips, I think, unless they got repositioned elsewhere. They still have one lurk up. They still have both fades. And it's slowly creeping towards the time when they'll end up having a no-no sale, but not too bad at this point. They finally have the other hive dropped. They have the other gate dropped, or they have the new gate dropped. However, there's kind of a bunch of aliens there. So at this point, it's not looking so good for Singularity, just because, well, they weren't able to get that one in Nano, and they decided to push for Nano instead of holding off and just letting the arcs do their job. I mean, when you have the arcs there, I mean, that's a huge res commitment. You might as well just let your freaking res do its job. And there's so many assists just all over. Look at how heavily assisted this is. This is freaking crazy. It's like he got bored and was like, hey, I'm gonna like put 1 billion assists down because I can and I have res. But that, you know, made it so that they couldn't get the second hive quite as fast. Anyway, 3 push down here into sort of sub. Rising moving in on them. He actually doesn't take more than like 1 pellet out of that whole bunch. And just Sing is in a bad position right now. 1 fade looks like it's going to base. Bruno might end up going down depending on where he ends up dodging. Looks like he's going to be able to make it in the vent, but Rising gets melted. Salads was able to take him down because he was coming back from base, so... But hey, this is where the whips went to. And they cannot move into there. They just can. They're just like stuffed there, and it's annoying. So pretty much their only chance here would be to go and... Oh, Salads is hiding in a corner. He shows himself by killing Fisk. So Zoloko's going to work on the power, but this would pretty much be their main spot that if they wanted to start somewhere and go somewhere else, they'd start their gate over in subsector and then probably push it forward. But they'd still do need, like, a second gate somewhere. But, like, East is obviously probably not an option at this point because they're going to be watching that like a hawk. I mean, they have all the assists there. I'm surprised they haven't, like, walked a weapon as well. Just at this point, they're just getting freaking mauled. Just all these whips set up in doorways to put that much chip damage, to be little alarm things. The equivalent of strings of tin cans, because there isn't much else that, you know, that do. Oh, the nice bone wall there to stop the guys from being able to build the gate. I mean, it's still just a blueprint, so it's not like it's really going to cost them res if they kill it. In fact, it does get popped there, and we're seeing that Sharp's going to be the last one alive, and this is not looking so good for Singularity. They had their chance there, and then it just ran away from them. Like, looking at the res graph, you could see the... Okay, what time is it? I think that right in about here was where arcing was going on. I guess it would be, like, right here. I don't know, somewhere in this block there were arcs. And now the arcs are, like, well, the kill graph kind of says what's happening here. I mean, they had half of a chance to be able to go through and, like... you know, actually take out Nano and really get some momentum on the map. But at this point, I guess all the aliens are, aside from one lurk, which would be Rising, are all pretty much on the right side of the map. So maybe they could get a position somewhere, but just like... Oh, Rising almost dying again. I mean, they just need to get some sort of forward position, but meanwhile, there's stuff in the base. They almost take down Bruno, but, well, he got out of the rim, no problem. And everybody's out of the way. Kane's actually going to bail out of the chair. He has, like, no res, so he can't really do much of anything. I guess he did drop the gate, so they're going to wait for everybody to come through, so poor man's beacon there. Coming through there, hallucinations freaking everywhere. Lots of things dying, but none of them... only thing that died was a skulk. Everything else was a hallucination. See, Rising got a little bit of chip damage on the gate. And we see Fisk patrolling around as a Nonos. Second hive obviously was Shade Hive, so... You know, Aura will start coming online as soon as they start getting some fails, but they're short enough on res that it'll probably be a little bit. Not that it'll probably be necessary for them to win. I mean, they have Singularity on a bad enough position. And look at this, they're up to 6 RTs. I mean, their chance for taking things out was pretty much right in here. That was their opportunity to be able to do stuff. And their opportunity to do stuff, it ran away. I think maybe part of it, they spent too long recapping back in that little period after they got phase tech. I mean, when you get phase tech up, you need to make sure that you get your gates out on the field. I mean, you spend all that res to, like, research it. You might as well try and get those gates up so you don't have to recap every 2 minutes. You see that even the whips got moved up. That was a nice little micro. They got moved up like that. So that way, even though they have the little, you know, the freaking gate there, well, it's not going to help. And it looks like they're going to just try and push and try and win this. We got Bruno there as Bruno there is kind of low on health, and they're gonna chase Fisk out of the room. And there's the loco, second no-no's showing up. He's gonna meet up with Fisk, and they're just gonna hang out. They're chasing away the whips, kind of. But the drifter's much more of a tasty thing there to have fun chewing on, or putting bullets into, I guess. Bruno hiding up in the little archways. I'm assuming Wei cast to know that he's there, considering he was just shooting at him. So he just like left him there and continued on to go clear up some cysts or something. Here comes Inzo moving in on him. Got a nice meat shot there, I think, from Inzo, but, well, JJ's by himself. Or maybe it was JJ that had the nice meat shot. Either way, he's going to go down. Salads and Mikan porting through the phase gate. Wake not able to get enough bullets into Bruno to be able to kill him. Not that it really matters, because I'm pretty sure he's, yeah, he's at 46 res, so he can refade whenever the heck he feels like it. Shotgun there on the floor, so hopefully it looks like Sharp's going to recap that, but they're just slowly dying here. More whips being built at Crag. I mean, this is just this is where they need the arcs again. Just because there's so much stuff. Though it looks like they're going to be able to take down a Crag, and that one whip didn't get built. So maybe, just maybe, they can capture over here in system. Look at the kill graph. I mean, it's just sort of tapered off. It is half of a parabola, and just it is not looking too good. It is merging to going towards a slope of 0 there, and just not good. All right, so they got the gate up. They now have 3 gates. The only problem is that this one gate is not exactly an ideal gate. And okay, yeah, they're sitting at 3 res, but Over.Extension, they have 6. And they have stuff in their base. They have Onai in their base, and it's just chaos, and they're gonna beacon. There are hallucinations running everywhere, and unless they melt these Onai, it's gonna be GG. Beaconing again to get everyone alive. This is the last beacon. After this, they're all dead. Here they go, the aliens rampaging everywhere. Kane and Wake, the last 2 to be alive. They're going to have people popping out of the IPs maybe, but then again, they're just going to GG it. And this will be a 2-2. All alien wins for these guys.
Command station taking damage.
All right. So that's it at this game, and I really am gonna have to go back and see what is all this freaking drama that went on in chat. Jeez, guys, come on, let's all be friends here. So these guys might end up facing off a little bit later on. I mean, let's put the overlay back on. All right. I mean, these guys might end up facing each other a little bit later on, because, well, looking at the scores, this will put Singularity and Narcolepsy tied to 18 points. But I think Versal said a little bit earlier that one of them they didn't have a tie during the actual season. So whoever won that will be the one that'll be top seed for semifinals. Over.Extension then will be sitting at 16. And then it'll just be a question of who's going to win out of Yggdrasil versus Intent. If Intent wins, that'll be, I don't remember if they 2-2'd Elfir, but if Intent wins, then they will be tied with Elfir for 4th. And if Yggdrasil wins 2 or more, then they will either be tied with Elfir or, you know, win. And so that'll sort out that 4th position, but I don't think that match is at all planned yet. So they'll have to go and figure that out at some point. Let's see. Let me actually take a look real quick and see if there's any sort of information on that. Because I think that is the last one. Yeah, we have a lot of matches for, a lot of week 7 matches, that's what it is, that need to be played. So slowly things are starting to wrap up a little bit. Yeah, there isn't even anything even planned yet for Yggdrasil versus Intense. So I can't even say, yeah, it'll be like, this weekend or something. That'll probably be at some absurd hour of the morning for me, so I'm probably not going to be able to watch that one. I'm definitely not going to be able to cast that one. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy that game. It was a little bit wonky, and I think every team at some point had a chance to win, and then they just kind of blew it. So that's definitely something that they're going to have to go back and take a look at because there's a lot of these like, hey, yeah, they can get this. The only one that was probably really questionable was probably Over.Extension's Marine round, just because I think that some of it was just bad decisions tactics wise. That if they'd set up, an East gate instead of a Net gate and done the arcing thing, they could have, taken Nano and gotten more res rather than having the gate that was in the middle of nowhere doing nothing. And just like a lot of stuff like that, where you need to. But a lot of the other rounds where it seemed like the Marines kept almost winning, or probably had the ability to win at all points, or at some point during each round, and then it just like didn't happen. And part of it is probably plays. Whether like I think on this past round, possibly it was because they pushed into Nano instead of just guarding the arcs and let the arcs do their job. I mean, they could sit right by the gate, protect the gate, not have to worry about Nano, and just like let the arcs do their stupid job. And then they could have gotten both the RTs and locked things down. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so let's see what else is there. I think there's a couple matches planned this weekend. I'll go over those real quick. Spastic Colon versus the Leftovers, which it looks like Ixion will be casting. We have Shrek's Haircut versus Nanobites, and Geef Robot versus Calamity Gaming are all going to be going on this Sunday. I don't think there are any matches yet planned for tomorrow, though I'm going to go through and double check and make sure I'm not missing any. So, but yeah, I don't think we're going to have to worry at all for any matches tomorrow. There really haven't been any that have been like totally planned that well this for this weekend. So this may be a pretty off week. I know last weekend seemed pretty busy, but then again, matches could still spring up, overnight this night or something when people suddenly realize, oh wait, it's almost the weekend. Besides that, of course, if you didn't already know, if you log in on ensl.org, it'll give you all the match times in your proper time zone. There's the NSL Twitter, which is NSL News, which I've been updating for when there's the match stuff, and the Steam group, which will also give you match notifications. That's all underneath the stream in the middle column, or should be, depending on how your thing is all set up. And that'd be it for me tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed the games. They're kind of crazy, and I'm going to have to go back and see what the heck I all missed on there, because I just gave up on trying to read all that nonsense. Um, so I really hope that there wasn't too much drama there. I know that maybe that's asking for too much. Oh no, yeah, drama. Can't have NS2 without drama. But yeah, I hope that you guys had fun, and maybe the drama is also extra entertaining. And I will see you guys later whenever the heck that I next end up casting a match. It's going to be kind of a couple busy weeks here for me, so I might not get to cast very much. But yeah, I'll see you when you see it. And have a good weekend, guys. Thanks for watching.